Good, beautiful Friday morning it is. Friday already. I kid you not. It seems like I take my trash out, which I take it out Thursday evening, so I don't miss it Friday morning. Ask me why I do that, because I missed it a couple times. But I swear to you, it seems like I literally just pulled my empty trash bins up and I take them back out. This is how fast the weeks are going, at least for me. They are zipping by. And this is a lot of times where I've heard in life, don't sleep on things because time isn't forever. And especially once you start going after something, it seems like time really speeds up because you're not focused, because you're preoccupied. You ever notice when you're at your job and you have a busy day, like a really, really busy day? It seems like you punched in and before you know it, you're punching out. Like that's how my life looks every day. So that's not the direction I wanted to go with this beautiful morning. We've been talking about responsibility, dreams, choices, decisions, amongst a multitude of other things this week. This morning, I want to talk about belief because I'm a firm believer, only from my own life experiences. I can't talk about you. Maybe you've always believed in yourself, and if so, rock on to you. That is awesome. For me, I doubted myself for a good portion of my life. One, because I was a procrastinator. I got in the habit of procrastinating. First of all, I want people to understand, procrastination is a habit. And it's a habit that can be broke through discipline. So don't go with that old saying, yeah, I inherently am a procrastinator. No, you're not. That is a habit, and habits can be broke and reformed as long as we work on them. So I procrastinated in life. One, because I made some poor decisions when I was younger. I made quite a few poor decisions that gave me the outcomes I deserved. I was an alcoholic. I was an addict. I ran from all my problems. I never faced them head on. In turn, led me not to believe in myself. And the sad part is, sometimes you'll hear me get on here and talk about anybody can win in life if they choose to. That's the part I'm talking about, if they choose to. Many of us, I'm not saying all, I know plenty of people that do believe in themselves, but many of us don't believe in ourselves to take the first step to get the ball moving before anybody else believes in them. And the reason I know that is because I communicate with people. I talk with a lot of people. You can tell when your acquaintances or friends or loved ones or family says they bring you an idea and you shoot the idea down and they're like, yeah, you're probably right, that wouldn't work. We're putting our limiting beliefs within ourselves on somebody else that may have limiting beliefs themselves. And if they have limiting beliefs themselves, this is the analogy I talk about. Don't tell your dreams to $20 mindsets. You're wasting your time. They don't even have dreams. If somebody doesn't have a dream and they're not chasing after something, you cannot tell them. I mean, you can tell them your visions, dreams, and ideas, but because their foresight is so small, they're not going to believe it's possible for you. Why would they believe anything is possible for you if they don't believe it's possible for them? They're not going to, whatsoever. So, the belief within ourselves has to come long before anybody else will believe in you. Because let's face it, up until this point in life, why have we done so great where our peers believe in us? And I'm not saying you haven't done a lot of great things. Maybe you have. I don't know. But up until when we first began, even my eBay journey, I wanted everybody to believe in me. My Patty, my family, my friends, all before I ever did anything for them to believe me in. You have to show the discipline and consistency to get the results and get the support, in other words. You can come up with the best idea in the world that could be maybe $100 million idea. And almost everybody has. Maybe not 100 million, but everybody's had an idea that could generate them $1 million annual income per year. I know they have, because my mind isn't special, and I know the way my mind works. And I know many ideas I came up with that 10 years later, I looked down the line and somebody brought that into reality. I'm sure you have too. So the belief has got to come in you before anybody else is going to believe it's possible. And this is why I believe so many people just give up on that thought or idea, is because we're looking for reassurance from somebody outside of us. They're not going to be able to give it to you because we have not gave them any reason for them to believe in us. If somebody come up to me today that I've known all my life and says, hey Justin, I'm going to build this $5 million business. And I know all their life they haven't done nothing. Like, nothing outside the norm. I'm going to be like, yeah, go for it. I'm going to tell them to go for it, because I do try to encourage instead of discourage. But in the back of my mind, I'm going to be like, really? Until they put the work in to where you start seeing the results. So I think a lot of people give up on a dream or a vision or a goal because they tell it to the wrong people. It might not even be the wrong people. You just might not have never showed them anything for them to believe that you could build that. And a lot of us, you all hear it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. And they never do it. That was me all my life through addiction. I tell my family, I tell my friends, I tell my, I'm going to stop. This is my last time. I'm never going to do it again. 3 weeks later, here I am buying beer again. You know what I mean? Like, I gave them all the reason not to believe in me. And people do that with their dreams and visions too. A lot of people do that to their significant others every single day. I'm going to get the to-do list done today. This weekend, I'm going to do that to-do list. Tomorrow, I'm going to do all our laundry. Tomorrow, I'm going to wash those dishes. Tomorrow, I'm going to have the conversation with you. And put it off, 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 and never do it. So we cannot anticipate outsiders to believe in the idea, vision, or belief that we may have, that we're going to create, that we're going to start, that we're going to take a stab at, whatever it may be. We can't anticipate others to believe in us. So I think one of the hardest parts to get started is you have to believe in yourself when nobody else does. And the work you're putting in is showing zero results. You have to have a belief in your mind strong enough that I always just tell Patty this. If we build it, they will come. That was a baseball movie from the 80s. I can't remember the name of it. But if you build it, they will come. Not only if you build it, but if you build it with integrity and the best that you can do, the people will come. And I said that for 3 years straight. And I still tell myself that today. You want to know what our first year looked like? And I'm not, I can only talk from where I am now. I am no 9-figure, 7-figure, 8-figure company right now. I'm not. That's the dreams, that's the goals, that's the visions, but we're not there yet. But our first year looked something like 2 jobs, maybe 3, as I was still doing eBay. But I believe if we continue to share what we did, do it with integrity, do it with 1,000% raw honesty, and go above and beyond with the best quality that we know how to, they would come. And I'm sure people doubted us. And I'm sure people tried tearing us down. People tried making up false accusations on us. Oh, they were sharing my past with people. That's fine and dandy. I do that myself. I expose myself because I am no longer that man. We had to believe in ourselves, even when it looked like the needle wasn't moving. And that was a lot. The first year, 2 to 3 jobs. Come on, you definitely cannot make a living on that unless you're doing $100,000 jobs. And let me tell you something here. We weren't even doing $1,000 jobs back then, just to say. So we have to put the belief within ourselves and work really hard towards that goal, vision, and dream long before anybody else is going to believe in you and long before you see the results. Long before. I'm talking about 7, 8, 9 figures of income. Maybe not 7, but 8 and 9 figures of income. Do you know how many eons away that is from us right now? 7 figures is very seeable and doable in the very near future. But 8, 9 figures, that's a whole different ball game. But I believe it's possible. Do I know how we'll get there? And do I know for a fact that we'll get there? No, and I don't know. But I know if we keep showing up and believing it's possible, we'll take the opportunities that come our way. And we'll seize on them. So the human mind's funny because it wants to play tricks on you. It wants to look for reassurance from everybody before we ever take our first foot forward. Some of us waste so much time on trying to encourage other people to believe in us that we never take that first step. This is mainly what this video is about. You don't need Tommy's permission. You don't need Anna's permission. You don't need Betty's. You don't need your mommy, your daddy's, your auntie, your uncle's. You don't need any of their damn permission to believe in yourself and take the first step. I'll tell you what you do need to, though. What you do need to start doing is if you say you're going to do something, do it. In other words, if you say you're going to get that sink cleaned today, get it cleaned. Because every time we tell ourselves we're going to do something and don't follow through, we are only harming ourselves. You are harming the insecurities and the lack of belief you have in yourself because you don't follow through with what you tell yourself you're going to follow through with. Ask me how I know that. That was me all my life. All my life I said, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And I did none of it. I froze. I froze, one, because I put too much on my plate in the beginning. That's what I realized too. If you got a to-do list, don't make it 100 things to do. You're never going to get one thing done. Do 2 things a day until that checklist is done. If we want to build belief within ourselves, start planning your day ahead of when the day starts. Start tomorrow 24 hours early. In other words, write the plan of the day down and follow it. I don't care if the plan of the day is, you know what? I have never planned my day, entire day in my entire life. I've never done this. Today, I'm just going to write, after all my obligations are done today, like meaning work, put the kids on the school bus, feed them, yada, 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 whatever else. At the end of the day, I'm going to read for 15 minutes. Something educational. I don't care what it is. And it doesn't have to be that. I'm just giving an example. It could be I'm going to take the trash out and I haven't took the trash out in 6 months. Some of you guys will laugh, but that happens. We deal with it. It happens. It could be as small as, you know, I've been avoiding relationship conversations with my significant other for the past 3 months. Today's the day. I'm going to start communicating more with my significant other. Whatever it is, it does not matter. Write that down 24 hours before that time is actually there. Planning your future, and then follow through. Do what is wrote down the next day. Just do that. It's that simple. Just do it. And then once you do it, you will feel accomplished. I don't care how small it is, because you wrote the day ahead and said, I'm going to do 15-minute conversation with my significant other. It might not even be, I'm going to do 15 minutes of pure listening, no speaking. Whatever it is. And you're going to do that, and you're going to feel accomplished because you actually wrote your day ahead of time and you actually did it. This simple practice that probably 82% of the population avoids can help us in so many ways that we have no idea. It builds confidence. You get a win every day. When is the last time you felt like your day was a win? Hopefully it's every day. But unfortunately, for a big portion of the population, it's very seldom they feel like they get a win. And it's in their control if they get those wins or not. It's in our control if we get those wins or not. And one great, surefire way to begin that journey is write it down the day before and follow through with what you say you're going to do. Because if we don't follow through with what we're going to say we're going to do, this is why we seek everybody else outside of us approval of our idea, because we don't even believe it's possible for us. So we're hoping somebody outside of us will believe in us. And I'm telling you now, we have to believe in ourselves long before anybody else will. Do you want to know why that is? Because so many people in this population, including you and me, has heard a million different people say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. And they do zilch of it. So they don't believe in people and their ideas because not enough people have showed them that they're going to go after their ideas and make it happen, or dreams and visions, whatever it is. So that's why people have a lack of belief in other people. And that's why we seek it from other people, because we don't even believe in us. Here's the truth behind that is, when I didn't even believe in myself, how the hell is anybody else supposed to? So if you don't believe in yourself, do you think the people around you can't see that? People are not stupid. They see it beautifully. It's painted all over your face, your body gestures, your movements, your actions, the way you communicate, the way you deliver, the way you show up or don't show up. Everybody knows when you don't believe in yourself. Everybody can see it all over. Now, maybe people don't want to pay attention to it, or they subconsciously ignore it or whatever, but it's very visible when you don't believe in yourself. For example, the first time I ever made video content was a short video about how bad I messed my entire life up. And I said I was going to take everybody through the process of me making little incremental improvements each and every single day. That was the scariest 30 seconds of my life, because one of my biggest fears was the fear of exposure, because I thought I could hide it from everybody, but everybody already knew. I look back at that video today, and I'm not making excellent video content. I am not a content guru. I do not have millions of followers. But I can go back and watch that very first video I made and watch this video right here, and I can see the confidence level and how the confidence within myself has shifted. And that's not arrogance. That's from doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again, and analyzing it and seeing where I'm making mistakes and trying to correct them through repetition. Same thing will go with your confidence within yourself. If you don't believe in yourself today, and you start writing the day down, you're going to say, I'm going to do one thing after work every single day. And you start writing it down, and you actually follow through on that, And you do that, first day ain't gonna feel that great, but you can tell yourself, hey, I gotta win. After week 1, you're gonna feel a little bit better. After week 3, nobody can tell you the exact time either. Don't let them gurus lie to you online. Nobody can tell you what it's gonna take for you. Oh, a habit only takes 3 weeks to get rid of and create a new one. No, it don't. It doesn't work like that for everybody. Trust and believe. But the more and more repetitions you do of following through with what you say you're going to do is going to gradually build your confidence within yourself. And when you're confident, not arrogant, but confident, your quality of life becomes to get better. Your relationships get better. Your communication skills get better. You sound more certain when you're communicating to others instead of very uncertain and shaky of what you're talking about. So if I compared my very first video ever, which was probably under 30 seconds, I was sweating like I just jumped out of a pool. It was insane how soaked I was. To 5, 6, 7 years, however long it's been, continually to make content. If I compared them to videos, you would see very clearly how little I believed in myself in that very first video. And I am not a content guru, and I do not have millions of followers, and I don't care about that. That isn't why I do it. So the belief is going to have to be in us before it's in anybody else. And a good way to start believing in ourselves is to write your day down ahead of time and follow through. If it's not written down on a calendar, if it's not written down on a pad of paper, or little sticky note things like I use, you will forget it, I guarantee it. And then when you shrug it off, I'm like, nobody will know. Nobody's gonna know if I don't do what I said I was gonna do. That's the problem. That's that sneaky little shy little what I like to call the bitch voice that Andy Frisella came up with in his book, The Mental Toughness. He calls it his bitch voice. That's our bitch voice. That's our bitch voice. When you say, oh, nobody will know. It doesn't matter if I fold my laundry today. Nobody will know. Yes, you know what? But you will know. And that's the most detrimental thing we can do to ourselves. I love you guys all. You guys have a rockin' rad day and believe in yourself because it's free.